Namaskar. Welcome to Prakash on Basics. I'm Prakash Zog, and I've been recently talking about WBC, that is white blood corpuscles, our army, our most important army, because it protects us. This is the second part. Our immune system is pretty complicated for non science people to understand. It's more like a jigsaw puzzle. Uh, Properly understood aspects of this could be a sequence that we need to follow. Uh, we need to first understand what the jigsaw puzzle is going to represent. Uh, that I have covered in my first lecture. Uh, the next step is to understand each of those pieces, uh, how they fit into each other, what do they represent. Uh, that I'm going to do in today's lecture and the next time. And then we need to start assembling the whole thing together so that the whole picture becomes pretty clear. That I will do in the fourth part of this set of lectures. Um, I know there are a lot of technical terms, so I'll keep on repeating a few things as I go along. And I would suggest that every time you see the second one, please go through the first one again. If you see the fourth one, see this first, second, third again. It will help you to keep track of what really is happening in the whole process. Mm. Last time I told you about the basic characteristics and functions of leukocytes. Leukocytes are the colorless or white blood corpuscles or cells. Um, uh, I told you that there are five of them: neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, lymphocytes, and monocytes. Five of them. And how do I remember them? I told you a chain of words that is used. Never let monkeys eat bananas. Every first alphabet will give you one of those three, those five, in fact. Uh, the first three, that is neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils, are all granular type of WBCs. Actually, they have very small granules or particles that contain enzymes that are required for their operation or functioning. Um, it is these granulocytes that I'm going to talk of today in my lecture. Uh, the details of each of them I would tell just now, and we will correlate that information again in our final step. Um, the basic information for all of them must be known to us because it is our body, it is our life that we have to understand so thoroughly well. Each of these has specific functions, but many of the functions overlap, and many of these cells uh, coordinate and communicate with each other. Uh, let's go to the origin, that is how the names have come about, because many times this is not clarified, so I'll come to that as the first step. um, these leukocytes or WBCs are all microscopic and colorless. uh, so to see them we have to put them under microscope, but if they are colorless and the light passes through them, you will hardly be able to see anything, so they have to be stained or colored by using dyes. Dyes are chemicals basically. Uh, these dyes or stains can be either, in terms of chemistry, acidic, basic or neutral. These would stain the leukocytes with distinct colors based on uh, this. The names have been selected and given. Actually, realize that it is these granules and nuclei inside, uh, nucleoplasm as it is technically known, that acquires the colors, and cytoplasm, that is the remaining fluid around, does not acquire that color. This nucleoplasm itself can be shaped in different manner, lobes as they are known. There could be just one single lobe or two of them, or S-shaped lobe, or multiple lobes connected to each other. These are the ones that will show typical color because of the stain. So the names, again, as I said, are based on the type of stain chemically that is being used. Neutral stains will color neutrophils. So you can see neutrophils because of the neutral stain. A fill word means attraction actually. So the ones that attract neutral dyes is what is implied at this point. The other stain I told you of last time also is acidic in nature, and that is eosin. And that stain will convert eosinophils into pink color, the nucleus inside. And the basic stain will color the inner part bluish, and those are referred to as basophils. And so you have the neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. These are the ones that we will first talk of today. We need to know a little more of what they actually do. Uh, Whenever there is a wound or a break in the skin, or some internal damage or infection, um, there could be a rupture or a breach, and uh, harmful bacteria and other stuff, which I told you is typically known as pathogens, will get inside and infect the body. The first response to this is there is a swelling, uh, there is inflammation, there is burning sensation along with all this. It is the neutrophils who trigger all this. They are the ones who tend to respond at the earliest. These are general attack cells. These are the most abundant WBCs in our body. Roughly around of all the WBC that is there, about 50 to 70% is neutrophils. Remember, the percentages will keep varying depending upon what the body needs at that particular instant to fight. And what do these fight? They fight against bacteria and fungi. These are the two major areas against which they attack. And uh, as soon as they get into contact with all these infected areas, etc., they result into a technical word which is known as vasodilation, swelling. These they start clumping together, and because of that, the part, they start taking in water from around, and all this results into swelling in that particular part. Mm. They're constantly circulating in the blood, and so they can immediately reach to whichever part there is a problem. And that killing process is associated with phagocytosis. That's a term that I'm going to come to. The eating process that I'm going to come to later on, so that we'll understand it in detail as we go ahead. They also promote tissue repair to some extent. So that's what these neutrophils do, and they live only for about 12 hours to a few days. And as soon as they end their life, the new ones take their place and start developing. Um, The second one is eosinophils. They respond to the acidic dye, which I told you, which is eosin, and they are about 5% of the total WBC that is present. And the color, because of the stain, is pinkish. Uh, these are powerful ones, stronger category, and these are the ones who attack and kill larger parasites like tapeworms and others. For this, they secrete certain special chemicals or enzymes that will kill these parasites. They also take part in allergies like asthma, uh, prevention of them or trying to suppress them. Uh, One more aspect, these eosinophils can wait into the tissues also. Uh, the size, of course, even if I say that they are stronger and bigger ones, they are around 8 to 10 microns in size, and they are activated whenever there is a location or detection of pathogens or harmful cells. And the triggering process could also be because of those chemicals I talked of, which is cytokines, which actually tell them that yeah, there is a problem, rush at that point and attack. That's what they do. um, they also release other type of chemical signals that will trigger the remaining WBCs also. And their job is also to assist basophils, the next category, with allergic responses. These basophils are more than 1% of WBC. And number, as I said, always keeps on fluctuating depending upon the requirement. Their inner lobes are S-shaped and they get colored, like I told you last time. They live only up to a few days. Uh, Basophils are the ones that produce allergic responses. The coughing that we get, the sneezing, the running nose, because of any disease or infection that gets into our body, is all because of the triggering process of basophils. Basophils produce two normal um, hormones in the regular process: histamine and uh, one more. What does this histamine? This is a word that we many people tend to uh, hear and talk of very often. Actually, uh, this histamine dilates blood vessels, and uh, it helps blood flow towards various regions to take place faster. And so many of the WBCs can reach the injured area or the infected area much faster because of this histamine that is given. It also tends to result into a bit of scratching, etc. And so many times there is a tendency to take antihistamine tablets. Let's keep that aside just now. um, there is a second hormone that it releases. It is known as heparin. It is an anticoagulant. That means it stops clotting. The purpose is twofold. Um, so if there is a clot formed on the way somewhere, the flow will not take place up to that point. And sometimes flushing out by giving out a little bit of blood is also an essential part. So all this is facilitated by this particular hormone. Actually, these basophils have another role which is not related to what we are talking just now, but I must mention that they also secrete totally different functional hormones to regulate our thyroid and adrenal glands, and also our control mechanism for some of our reproductive systems. So basophils have a dual function. That second function is something that we might talk of sometime much later, not today. Mm, mm. There are So these are the three basic type of cells that are granular in nature. There is one more category that I had mentioned previously, agranulocytes. But I'm not going to burden you with too much of information uh, at one stretch. Um I'll talk of these granulocytes next time so that the information will be suitably spread out. Go through all this information once more. And in addition, next time we'll also have to look into some more terms like what are antigens and antibodies and phagocytosis that I talked of, and those cytokines that I said. So, along with the next information, we'll try and catch up on that also. If you liked whatever I have said, please see if you can look up some pictures about these if possible. Like and subscribe to this channel. If you press the bell icon, naturally you will get an information that when I'm going to talk of this next lecture. This obviously is going to be 15 days from now, 2 sessions after this, as usual, like our sequence that we've been following. Uh, Pass on this information to your other friends. And remember, all this is very important for our own self. I know it is technically a little difficult, but it's our body and our life. So we have to know this. Share this information with your friends. Pass it on to them also. And know more of how our body defends ourselves. Till we meet next time again for the next step in this. This is Prakash Zog saying Namaskar.